Brian, we unfortunately lead with bad news again this week, as we did for the folks who heard the program last week. We're taping this again ahead of time. Everybody knows I'll be in Orlando most of WrestleMania week, so we're taping on Friday, March 24th. And we opened the program last week with the news of Jan Ross's accident. We now know, obviously, most everybody knows through Twitter and the websites, that Jan passed away last Wednesday evening, March 22nd. And there's no way to really explain, or no words to express how sorry that we are, Stacy and myself, how shocked everybody was, and how we feel, and the sympathy we send out to JR. Jan was a great friend to all of us and the perfect wife for, imagine that, Brian, in the wrestling business, a perfect marriage. It's unusual. And anyway, I haven't let you speak yet.
I've heard it said, Jim, and obviously I didn't know her, that she was very much like a coach's wife. Like you would see in the movies when the coach has the wife who works with all the kids who go to the university or anything, that she was like that with the talent. When JR was the head of talent relations, everyone knows Jim Ross. Not too many people knew her in terms of the public. So if I may ask you, if you could just say a little bit, just what kind of lady was she? When did you first meet her? And just what kind of spirit did she have?
Well, I can't even, it's been so long, I don't even remember the exact first time that I met her, but she and JR met on a flight. Actually, she had been a flight attendant previously, and they met on a flight. Actually, I think Flair was involved. Flair was there on the plane. And of course, with his hijinks, I'm sure he was talking to all the flight attendants and everybody else for that matter. And, but out of the two of them, she took a shine to JR, and they started seeing each other. And that was, my God, probably the early 90s, 1991, 92. So I can't remember the first time I met her, but we've met on many occasions, whether it's when Stace and I went down to Oklahoma we were driving through and visited their restaurant, and when it was open, or when she's traveled just most recently, she was at the Charlotte Fan Fest just this past August, and me and JR both turned around and said, where are our wives? And Stace and Jan were upstairs, talking wine and commiserating about being married to people in the wrestling business. But she was, wherever she was at, she was the coach's wife, and she was always, behind JR 100%. She had his back. And so I guess, these things happen out of nowhere, and you can't predict them, but this was just something that shouldn't have taken place. And she was younger than JR, and I'm sure that Jim's thoughts were that he'd be the first one to go. And then like I've joked with Stacy sometimes, then she can cash everything out and open a bed and breakfast on the coast. But